I never thought the woman I trusted most would make me the center of a cruel joke. But one night, in my own home, that's exactly what happened. It was a Friday evening, and my wife had invited some of her girlfriends over. They arrived with wine, snacks, and the kind of energy that promised hours of gossip and laughter. I didn't mind at all. I've always believed she deserves her time with her friends. So, I stayed out of the way, fixing myself something in the kitchen and letting them enjoy the living room. At first, the sound of their laughter didn't bother me. But then I started to notice something. Every time I walked by, I could hear my name being thrown around, followed by bursts of giggles. It began harmlessly enough. She teased me about always forgetting to close the toothpaste cap. They laughed. Then she brought up the time I tried to repair the sink and ended up making things worse. More laughter. I can handle jokes. I don't take myself too seriously. But then, one of her friends asked a question that shifted everything: whether I was good at fixing everything. Without hesitation, my wife smirked and replied, "Well, not in the way that really matters." The whole room erupted. One nearly spilled her drink from laughing so hard. I froze in the kitchen doorway, my chest tight, my throat dry. What she had just turned into a punchline wasn't about toothpaste or plumbing, it was about me as a man. Something private. Something intimate. I looked at her, expecting her to take it back, but instead she smirked again, almost daring me to laugh along. That was the moment the humiliation sank in. I didn't yell. I didn't storm out. I simply walked back to the kitchen, my hand shaking, and decided that if she thought it was funny to ridicule me, she needed to know what it felt like. So I waited. The night went on, and eventually the conversation drifted to relationships and men. When they all got up for a quick break, I quietly picked up a few stories, truths my wife would have preferred stayed hidden. When they came back, I joined them in the living room, calm and smiling. Her friends looked surprised, and my wife's expression immediately shifted to worry. I started light, mentioning how she once burnt dinner so badly that we ate cereal to avoid tears, or how she accidentally sent a romantic message meant for me to her boss, and I had to cover for her. The women chuckled politely. Then I told the one story she dreaded most, her karaoke attempt at a family party where she was so off-key that her own cousins begged her to stop. I even mimicked her dramatic singing style. The room howled with laughter. But this time, my wife wasn't laughing. Her face burned red, her jaw locked tight, and her glare told me she finally understood. I didn't reveal anything deeply personal or cruel, but I made sure she felt what I had felt, what it was like to be laughed at by the very people whose respect mattered to her. When her friends left, she slammed the door and confronted me. "How could you humiliate me like that?" she demanded. I looked straight at her and said, "Now you know how it feels." At first, she insisted it had been just a harmless joke and that I was too sensitive. But I told her there's a difference between playful teasing and tearing down your partner in front of others. What she did crossed a line. That night, we barely spoke. She went to bed, and I lay awake on the couch, staring at the ceiling, wondering how we got here. The next morning, she came to me with a softer tone. She admitted she had gone too far, that she didn't realize how much it hurt, and she apologized sincerely. It didn't erase the pain, but it showed me she finally understood. For her, it was a lesson that respect in a marriage isn't optional, it's essential. For me, it was a reminder that sometimes silence isn't strength. Sometimes you have to speak up, even to the person you love most, and draw a line. So when people ask me what happened that night, I tell them this: my wife laughed at my expense in front of her friends. She thought it was just a joke, until she saw my response. And that response changed everything.